We will start with the Dhyana Sloka along with the Ganesha Vandana, that is of Swami Brahmananda.
Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu me sada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Atha Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhidam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayini Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini.
So, welcome to all of you. We are starting a new type of teaching of Bhagavad Gita with audio support, audio aids. And many of the points which we will be discussing would have been followed, implemented in me. That is the turning point Bhagavad Gita gave me in my life during the beginning of the 2000 years, 2003, 4, 5, like that, when I was losing eyesight. So many points from Bhagavad Gita I extracted and implemented in my life. So, in the introduction Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavad Gita, we will be sending you a write-up. Along with that, I will add some more things. So, it is in the Dhyana Sloka itself. It is there are few more slokas. That is, it is the condensed version of all scriptures. Please mute your these things. Condensed version of all scriptures and given to us by Lord Krishna for all the 4 Purusharthas. We are having the faculty, human beings. We have taken birth as a human being. It is hard-earned gift or prize, or we can consider it as a rolling trophy also. So it has been blessed by Lord, and we have to hand over this body to the nature after making it use for which we got this. So for making use of any sophisticated gadget, we will go through the user manual. So what I always tell, this sophisticated, one of the most sophisticated instrument is our body. There is no other anything you can imagine, even other shariras is not as sophisticated as human body, because even if you see from the normal life, what all things is put inside the body, solid, liquid, hot, cold, oil, watery, then even evaporating things. Can we put all the things in any other machine? We cannot. So this kind of body is a hard-earned price. This we have to use without misusing or abusing, and we have to hand over to the Lord. So that is the human goal. So for that, the user manual is Bhagavad Gita. This is one of my own interpretation, and because user manual means it will tell many things about handling a instrument or gadget. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is the only scripture. In that way, it is condensed from many scriptures, Upanishads and everything, taken by Lord Krishna and handed over to the human race, mankind. This Lord is telling himself in the 4th chapter. That will, when it comes, we will see. That is, Lord Vishnu gave to Surya Bhagavan, then it was given to Manu, then Ikshvaku. Then afterwards it got lost. Then Lord Krishna again revives it in a situation where the present situation, last few months, other than that, it is not as dangerous as war. Now, few months is little more complicated and fearful, but otherwise our normal life is not as fearful and dangerous as the war field. So Bhagavad Gita was told to a person who is a very well accomplished, royal family, not any other bachelor or a sannyasi. And it was told before many religions came. Even they say many years before, that is 5,000 years before Hinduism, Christianity, Islam came. So it is for humanity. And it contains so many different aspects. That is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita, which I have not come across any other scriptures in the 15 years of listening more than 1.2 lakhs pages. And it has taken a very high significant place in Prasthanatrayam. Prasthanatrayam means 3 things are there for the uplift of mankind to understand the truth. That is Upanishads, the end portion of Vedas, Vedanta, then Bhagavad Gita, then Brahma Sutra. These 3 things together is Prasthanatrayam. And Bhagavad Gita is the extract of Vedas. See, Veda, I will tell something funny way. You see, Mother Gita, we tell Mother Gita. So I will add some adjectives. Soft, kind and strict mother. So Bhagavad Gita is the extract of Vedas. So I will tell Vedas grandmother. So Veda is like grandmother, mother's mother, father's mother, whatever. So Vedas, they pamper also. They tell various things to get what we want, like Swarga, wealth, Putra and everything. Veda tells, like grandmother, it pampers. Then it tells Vedanta, then it tells the truth, secret through Vedanta. But Bhagavad Gita is very straightforward, blunt. It cautions us that we should not be a prey to Swarga and other bhogas. Then we will lose the prime goal of life, which is possible through human birth. It is not easy in other births, means even devas and everything, and impossible in animal births. other than human birth, in very high loga only, so, this one, Brahma Loga and everything, that we have to do lot of things for reaching Brahma Loga. Other than that, directly from Manushya Janma, we can get the freedom. Freedom from what? So that is what is Bhagavad Gita says. And Swami Paramatmananda also was telling in Vivek Chodamani, hurts and guilt. Hurts and guilt. Guilt and hurts. Internally and from external source. That is what struggle of life, samsara. Just if you analyze samsara, internal hurts and guilts, and guilt hurts generated internally because of the external responses and reactions and experiences from them. That's all samsara, internal and external hurts and guilts. So Bhagavad Gita starts with the guilt of the blind king Dhritarashtra. He already is conscious, it's pricking him. He has cheated the sons of his brother. Then we will see in the slokas, 19th sloka, again the guilt makes the Kauravas tremble when the Pandavas blow the conches. Then afterwards we will see the hurts of the relations, attachments of Arjuna's attachments to Drona, Bhishma and his relatives and friends. So hurts and guilts constitute the total beginning of the Bhagavad Gita's context. Guilts of the Kauravas and hurts of Arjuna. So this is some of the introductions. We will be continuing the introductions along with the other classes also. For 5 minutes at least I will tell about some other benefits of Bhagavad Gita in every class. Then we will move through the slokas, verses, selected verses. There are 18 chapters, Then 701 verses distributed in these 18 chapters. But we have to dig into the ocean and take the pearls. Like that, we have to pick the so many important points giving slokas through the teachings of my gurus, Swami Paramatmananda, Swami Dayananda Saraswati and others. And we have taken the reference from other sources also, like Swami Gambhirananda, because some of the things we want some brief things, so we cannot go through 20-30 pages for one sloka. So I prostrate to all these Swamijis, and some questions also I can ask, but it's not a live class. Otherwise, your aim should be, you should not listen the Bhagavad Gita from the point of the curiosity what Bhagavad Gita says. You don't proceed in this manner. Very, very peculiar idea I got. If you proceed in this manner, you may get lost. Many scholars, they are not able to find what Bhagavad Gita says fully. But more and more we explore, we get more and more ideas. So that is why it is the Lord's teaching from the Lord's mouth. So your aim should be, you should know what are you. With this aspect, with this curiosity, please start the journey in the Bhagavad Gita's way. Because if you want to know academic interest, what Bhagavad Gita says, there's no end. Again, I am repeating. So you start the journey with Bhagavad Gita with the very strong conviction. Through Bhagavad Gita, I will know who am I or what am I. For that, Bhagavad Gita is the only scripture, condensed scripture, which gives everything. Preparation, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. That way we bifurcate Bhagavad Gita into 3 portions. First 6 chapters, Karma Yoga. Then Bhakti is more predominant. Then last 6 is Jnana Yoga. That is more predominant. All the chapters contains all the aspects also, but predominantly karma, bhakti and jnana. And also famous Mahavakya, you know. So first 6 chapters, predominantly, not only, predominantly it covers Tvam Padartha. Then second Shadka, second, that is 7 to 12, Tat Pada Artha. Then the last 6, from 13 to 18, the Asi, the Aikyam. That is Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. That is Jivatma Aikya. First Jiva, then Parama, then Jivatma Aikya. So that is what it is spread over. So we will, but now you can this one unmute and ask any question, because we have to switch over to the slogas, so it may require some time. So you can unmute. You can please unmute. What I told you, from there also you can ask any question. And also if you have got any genuine doubts or questions connected to listening Bhagavad Gita or very much connected to our subject, you can ask.
Chanting upon underlying people, music, record, people, Jiva complete धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Atha prathamodhyayah Dhritarashtra uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaha Yuyutsavaha Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
As I told, the king had, his conscience was pricking. He had guilt. He knows why they have assembled. But Lord Krishna did one, we say, mischief. So the Bhagavad Gita he has to give to us in the context of Arjuna, pretext. But actually it is not only for Arjuna, that already I told it's a user manual. But Lord, in his own way, from his childhood, you know what Lord Krishna was doing. He created the situation in which Arjuna has to listen to Krishna. Otherwise, Krishna was his charioteer. Arjuna was the master. So it changes. Sorry? So this guilt was speaking, so he asked Sanjaya what they were doing, what my sons and Pandu's sons. So this it starts with that thing. Then another sloka is selected in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita's first chapter is sloka number 19. That is, before they start the war, they blow the conches. So Kauravas blew all their conches. Then Pandava did. So the difference in their the listening of these sounds made some difference. That is also significant from the point of guilt.
Beginning of holiness, vibrating both in the sky and on earth, it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Sakoshodhartarashtraणam Hridayani Vyadarayat Nabhascha Hrim Chaiva Tumulo Vyanunadayan.
So this is the 19th sloka. When Gaurava's army was much more than Pandava's army. Much more. But when Kauravas blew their conches, Pandava was listening. But when Pandavas blew their conches, Kauravas were trembling. Means terribly they were upset because the guilt. So that guilt, samsaras I told you, guilt and hurt. So these two slokas indicates the guilt in the heart of the king, the Dhritarashtra, and the guilt in the hearts of the Kauravas. Then next sloka we are selected is sloka 28, 29, 30, 31 combination.
Manjal, you plug this, no? Yeah. On agar
Bhajanam Krishna Jayatvam Samupasthitam Sidam Tinamagatrani Mukham Cha Parishusyate.
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up."
Arjuna uvacha drishtrevam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati.
So what happened to such a great person, Arjuna? On seeing Drona Bhishma slap, Arjuna was brought up and Drona taught all the things. So he totally forgot about the duty as a king, and he started connecting himself through his body. That's what explained in Bhagavad Gita. This Bhishma's relationship is through body only, grandfather. Drona through mind. All the Kauravas through body. So his body attachment, through body, all the things are connected. The relationship is either whatever thing is forgotten totally is the duty. So then what happened to him? His weakness increased. He started, his legs were shaking. Shidanti mama gatrani, weakness. And mouth was drying. This is the first sloka is explaining, and two more sloka is explaining what all the things happened to him. We will listen and I can add up.
Vepatusya sharire me premaharsyasya jayate gandevam samsate hastat tvatsaiva paridapyate.
My whole body is trembling. My hair is standing on end. My bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning.
Vepatushya sharire me romagharshasya jayate gandivam sramsate hastat tvachaiva paridakhyate.
So, Vepatushya Sharire me means the weakness of the legs increased to whole body. And what you call goosebump, that is hair standing on his root. So that kind of fear he developed. Fear started because of confusion. Confusion because of attachment. One negative thing is connected to another negative thing. And such a bold person, see, the thing is that no, he was determined to defeat the people and came to the war field and collected the some kingdoms were supporting them also. So all this up to that point he was so much sure about his duty or whatever thing he has taken some point everything. But within a few minutes he lost everything means what? You see the power of mind which attacks his body. And this through the body only, the attachment to Bhishma and the other Kauravas attacked his mind. So these are the things, very important thing to note. And also, anyway, it will be there. It will not end like today's thing. Throughout this Bhagavad Gita, the teaching has only changed him. Not that Lord Krishna, being a god, he can touch Arjuna's head and make him strong and remove all the delusions of the mind and ask him to fight. He did not do. He taught the teachings from the basics, the root cause of his delusion, confusion. Mainly confusion started and then fear all the things. So next sloka is also the same thing, is that is 28, a part of 28 sloka, 29, 30 and a part of 31 sloka, first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, is explaining the dilemma of Arjuna. Now he will further explain about how this situation affected Arjuna's mind.
न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुम् भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव.
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, healer of the Keshi demon.
See how it affected the mind. He was not able to speak and he was not able to think. Mind was swirling. Then all bad omens. What is happening now? So that's what happening. What will happen? What will happen? Fear thought, future ambiguity. So he was totally anticipating all negative things. So fully affected. In this state he was there. Then if we see or if we listen to Arjuna, or just before Arjuna's understood and replied, after the complete teaching, 18th chapter 63rd verse, Bhagavan is telling a very, very important message, that the response is left to Arjuna. I have taught you completely the secret. This is again is insisting in 3 or 4 times throughout Bhagavad Gita. In 14th chapter, 9th chapter, that is secret. So that we'll see, that is 18th chapter, 63rd verse.
न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम् भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव.
Already scrolled. Now
इते ज्ञानमाख्यातम् गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमृशैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to.
इति ते ज्ञानम् आख्यातम् गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतत् अशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
see, Yadechasi tata guru. What I have told you, the secret I have told. Now this is indicating what? You have to use free will. So for understanding this knowledge for our own purpose also, we have to use our free will. So never have the opinion, if God wills, He will give me this knowledge. Or even you should not think, if God wills, He will induce interest in this. No. He has given you the free will. Not only for action. Free will is not only for action. Free will is, actually it starts with action, okay, because our actions are already law bound. So first actions, then speaking, then thinking. So interest is what? Thinking, no? So we have to take interest to understand the secret, and all other aspects are byproducts. All other aspects, productivity, positivity, managing the life, social life, family life, personal life, even that is maintaining the body's health, everything is a byproduct. Naturally, if our goal is little high, our family normal life will become easier. That's what we have to set our goal a little bit higher than the routine. So that is what is Bhagavad Gita. Both. That's why Bhagavad Gita is everything is in one. Now, Arjuna's reply, 18th chapter, verse number 73.
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव.
Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instructions.
Arjuna uvacha nashto mohaga smritirlabdha tvatprasadat maya achyuta sthitosmi gata sandehaha karishye vachanam tava.
So, this is what is reply. My illusion has gone. I will fight. As taught by you. So, all the things indicates what? Teaching has done the miracle. That is in the life of, that is transactional life. Fighting is the particular moments, situations requirement. But the inner teaching, the subtle teaching, the prime teaching of Bhagavad Gita is Brahma Vidya Yoga Sastra. Brahma Vidya, that is self-knowledge. So, once you are in the pursuit of self-knowledge, all other things will be byproduct. You can achieve effortlessly. So now this is the prime benefit, contextual or something like that, the present transactional word. Some more benefits are there. That is what I have selected from this different areas of this Bhagavad Gita, different chapters. From 6th chapter also, there are a set of slogas about the benefits. That is, once we go ahead in the pursuit, we may not be able to reach the end point. Before that, we may go from the world. So what will happen? So, it is not only Bhagavan's words guarantee, it is logical also, because this journey is inward. So, we will not lose what we have understood about us in this life. We will pick up the thread and proceed in the next life. These are explained in the 6th chapter from the verse 40 onwards. So this one, because I have to sequence it, let me see, that is sequence means fine. Otherwise some more punya also is guaranteed by Lord in the 18th chapter. So these two are other benefits other than the benefit of conquering the fear and confusion. That is the prime benefit we discussed already.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
6th chapter.
पार्थनैवेह नामुत्र विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि कल्याणकृत् कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान् उषित्वा शाश्वती समाः शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहे योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते अथवा योगिनामेव कुलो भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरम् लोके जन्म यदीदृशम् तत्र यत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगम् लभते पौर्वदेहिकम् यतते च ततो भूयः संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव क्रियते ह्यवशोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्धकिल्बिषः अनेकजन्म संसिद्धः ततो याति परां गतिम् तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन.
Verse 6.40 to 46. Indeed, O son of Partha, Arjuna, there is no destruction for him or her, neither here nor in the hereafter, because anyone who performs good actions, that is, this pursuit of self-knowledge, never reaches a bad end. Having gained the world's belongings to those who do good actions, and having lived there for countless years, the one who did not succeed in yoga, that is, did not gain self-knowledge in this birth, is born in the home of the wealthy and cultured people who are committed to dharma. Or he is indeed born into the family of wise yogis. A birth such as this is indeed very difficult to gain in this world. There he gains a connection through the intellect with that which existed in his previous body and strives for further success in yoga, that is, this pursuit of self-knowledge. Then that gained previously, O joy of the Kuru family. By this previous practice alone, he is carried away helplessly. Even as one who is desirous of the knowledge of yoga, that is, this pursuit of self-knowledge, goes beyond the Veda, that is, beyond the Karma Kanda of the Veda. Whereas the yogi who makes an effort by means of the will and who, cleansed of all impurities, is successful after many births, then he or she gains the ultimate end. A yogi, that is seeker, is considered superior to those who live a life of meditation, superior even to the scholars, and superior to those who perform action. Therefore, O Arjuna, be a yogi, that is seeker of self-knowledge.
So, 7 slokas out of 700 slokas in this context, means in the 6th chapter towards the end, he guarantees. And it is logical that only this knowledge is guaranteed, that nothing will become waste, and you will pick up the thread from the next, that is in the next birth, from where you have completed here. So this much guarantee Bhagavan is giving. So as much as possible you progress, but without any apprehension that will I be able to succeed fully. That apprehension you need not, because he is giving guarantee. In the 2nd chapter again he gives, let us see, that is 40th sloka. But here this 7 slokas in the 6th chapter he is giving. See, this is the thing. 6th chapter only this another benefit incentive comes. So if you go sloka by sloka, by the time you come to 6th chapter, it will be many months and about 200, 300 slokas. After that only 6th chapter comes. So that is why we have to understand Bhagavad Gita from a teacher, not even books actually. So I got, by God's grace and this thing here, Swami Dayananda Saraswati and Swami Paramahansa. So I dwell in Bhagavad Gita. And in this 6th chapter, this 7 verses, you should have got the 2 keywords. Prayatnat yadamanastu. Yogi samsuddha kilbishaka. Anega janma samsiddhaka. Tado yanti param. See, prayatna, will and effort, both are required. Again establishing. And kilvishaya samshuddha, preparation. That is the boring part. You should not think like that. Without preparation, you cannot get this. Mental preparation, that's what, not 100%. You increase the eligibility, qualification, if you don't get the benefits from the point of your body, from the point of your mind. Again listen, again increase the eligibility, again listen, again not understanding, listen again, listen again, listen again. Not getting benefit, increase the eligibility. Clearly it is telling. Aneka janma, the kilbisha means mental impurity. That has to be removed. So that is, preparation is extremely important from the point of understanding this knowledge, because this knowledge is self-evident. Self-evident it is. Atma is self-evident. Changeless awareness is self-evident. Because of that only everything is happening here. Either it is recording, or is selection of sloka, or speaking, or listening, or understanding, or not understanding. Everything is happening because of that changeless awareness only. Because all other things are inert. So, this sixth chapter, sloka number 40 to 47 is the guarantee by Lord that nothing will be wasted in this pursuit. Next is, okay, you means what is about next janma, what is speaking about the thread and everything, what is self-knowledge, I want only punya means, that is also a guarantee. This is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. If you listen, punya will be there and you will get punya's outcome, Swargaloka, whatever thing. But consequences he will tell afterwards, but you will get punya also. That way, punya is what? Good luck. Papa is bad luck. So if anything happening to you good now, it is because of your punya of previous birth. Similarly, this pursuit in this birth will accumulate your account, savings or deposits. So that you are always you are fond of, no? Punya account. So that is also there. So how many benefits?
श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious
श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
I like music, no? Because of the music only I could by heart more than 200 slokas. Anyway, now what is the key word in this sloka? Shraddha. Those who have listened Swamiji's latest lectures, Paramatmananda, he was explaining Shraddha. So, faith, trust, all these things okay. But Shraddha has got one more very, very subtle meaning. That is, I think one or two would have listened already, Vivek Chudamani. I was telling in my that is 11 classes, that is Vedanta for happiness. No, the status of a sixth primary source of knowledge. That status you give, you will get benefit. What is that? I can revise it because you would have mostly forgotten. 5 senses are there: eyesight, listening, taste, smell, and touch. So, you see, some subtle aspect of Shraddha is there now. That is, when you see a color through your eyes, you are not verifying by smelling it or by licking it. Eyesight, you take it as a full validity. You don't verify it. Similarly, smell, taste also primary instrument of knowledge. If you put a bitter thing in the eye, you cannot feel the bitterness. That is known. So nobody will do this. So this is the primary instrument of knowledge, 5 senses. The same status you give to Veda, Shabda Pramana. So, that is the teaching. Then you will get the benefits fast. I gave it, I got it. But this is not the problem, because you give all the perception, senses, you give a primary instrument. But Veda tells you give to Veda, you are not giving. Then I am not getting the benefit, I am not able to, again meditation, again all the things, means how you will get it? That is why we, I also understood by some Swamiji that so many logical and scientific support, that we are giving the maximum support. And if you don't get the benefit, again go to LGBT, improve the LGBT, again listen, same thing. So, for example, once you are listening to some teaching, it was not recorded properly. What you do? Again you listen. Or keeping near the ears and listen. That's what you do, no? In any other subject. Same thing you do this for this Vedanta. Then that is the way. So here Shraddha has got that one. Now one more, Shraddha, yeah, so I will finish up this Shraddha topic. So, you see, one example I can give. The contradiction does not blunt your conviction. The example what I made. See, many of the teachings of Vedanta appears illogical or unimaginable. One of the teaching is what? You don't have any reason for lamenting, for worrying. There is no reason for you. Really, there is no reason. You are trying to remove the problem which is not there for you. From the point of Atma, not a body-mind intellect. So there is misconception that you think that you are the body, you are the mind, you are the soul. No, you are the spirit, Atma. The consciousness, such-endless awareness. So that misidentification you have done. So then how will you understand that you don't have any problem? Because you think you are the body, you will have problem. It will never go. Mind means always. But from the point of changeless awareness, you don't have any problem. Then you are trying to remove the problem. How will you succeed? The thing which is not in you, you are trying to remove, you will get frustration. This one. Second is, you are full. You are Purnaha. You are trying to acquire something. You are trying to add up. How will you fill the already full one? There also you are getting frustration. So these teachings appear illogical. These teachings appear unimaginable, unagreeable. This kind of contradiction should not be there. Why? I will give an example. See, when you see the star in the sky, what is your experience? Small star. But what your knowledge? Star is so huge. How will you know? Science has told you or something. But this is not blunting your the sense, no? That is what. Though you are seeing small, your intellect agreeing it is not small. It is big. The same thing is happening in this teaching. That is teaching. It appears illogical, unagreeable, but that is the truth. So really, the stars are big. You are understanding and just enjoying the small star and moving to the next part of your life. Either go to sleep or whatever thing. This is one of the examples. Blue sky. Sky is not blue, but you are enjoying it. So similarly, this also, those things are for enjoying and everything. This is for benefits. So if you give that kind of difference, that is, though it appears illogical, it will be true. Like the planet is big is true, science is telling. Similar, that status you give to Vedanta, then benefits will start. Now, next one, I think we are ending. 8 more minutes only. I think it will be 1 hour with one. We will end with what a beautiful sloga. That is the last sloga of the last chapter, 18th chapter. It's a very, very fine sloga. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Then only up to this much we can finish, means the balance what I have recorded, we will continue in the next class. This is the final sloga of the final chapter.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra तत्र श्रीविजयो भूतिः ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिं मम
Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion.
यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीः विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवानीतिः मतिर्मम तत्र श्रीः विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम.
So Lord has so nicely, I think, designed today's also nearing 1 hour, and stopping with this sloka is divine. Because I have put some more sloka back to context, but ending with this is more than what you want. Tatra Srihi Vijayo Bhudir Dhruva Nidir Madan Mama. Wherever Lord Krishna and Lord Arjuna is there. Means what? Wherever Lord Krishna, Lord Arjuna, then you can ask question where Lord Krishna is not there. So, this is not Krishna's, this one. You can, few minutes you can forget about his divinity and everything. Come back to his teachings. Because his divinity is everyone's rights, but God's divinity. Only typing is required. So typing, free will is with you. So what I will say, Krishna means Gita teaching. Wherever Gita teaching is there, not only teaching, if you do puja Gita, you will get punya. That's what. Already listen, no? That is 71st sloka. Now we will come back. Wherever Krishna is there and Arjuna is there. Arjuna means what? Action. Arjuna stands for action, Gandiva. With not in the first few slokas he was using it. I will fight. So wherever Krishna, wherever the teaching is there, and wherever Arjuna, wherever the action as per the teaching is there, only there, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhudir Dhruva Nidir Madan Mama. All the things. Various types of riches. Not only Sri, that is wealth. Intellectual richness. Then emotional richness also one quality, love. Then for family harmony. Then victory is telling, victory, that is winning the family, winning the society. Then justice, righteousness. More than that, what you want. This is the guarantee for this birth. And next birth also I have told everything is over. Now I think 9 o'clock also over. We can, I think, conclude with Purnamaga. Then we will have some kind of analysis about this kind of presentation, and we will continue from the next Saturday 8 p.m. Okay, we will. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.